Hey everybody, welcome to another Twitch Talk Thursday. My name is Nate Simmons. I am on the board of directors for the Nebraska Schools Esports Association. Tonight we have with us Andy Roo from Hastings College. Welcome,
Well,
Coach Roo.
hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Hoping to learn a lot about your program and some more about you tonight. All right, so first, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in your coaching career.
I graduated from here in 2019. I'm on the younger side of coaches. I'm only 25 years old, but I joined. I came back to Hastings covering media. I was in charge of our media program, but that was one thing I really worked on afterwards. And they brought me in. It's like, hey, we've been trying to work on esports for about 5 years, but haven't been able to get it. And they heard, okay, you do streaming and all that. So that's kind of where that all funneled from. I've played competitively on Siege and Valorant. So my background, I do have a little bit of a competitive side. I also have a little bit of your fun single player games like Skyrim, stuff like that. Been a gamer my entire life. I've uh, just really enjoyed everything about gaming and bringing my broadcasting side of things, journalism, and how can I develop that and incorporate it to esports. And with streaming, I think that's been my biggest thing is the different things that I see that people might not think of. But yeah, that's kind of who I am and how Hastings started.
Awesome. Okay, so you've been gaming your whole life. So what was your first gaming system?
My first, so we had two gaming systems. It was a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation 1.
Awesome. Okay, and what is your favorite game that you're playing right now?
Favorite game that I'm playing right now, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
I've been playing that a lot. The on the other side, non-FPS, non-competitive games, a lot of RuneScape. Uh, so I'm a mix of, I'm a variety of games, but those are my two big games right now.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so let's hear a little bit more about your program there at Hastings. How long have you guys been an official team at your school?
So we started as a club team only last semester.
Okay.
This is our first year as a varsity sport here at Hastings.
Okay.
So still in our infancy, but very quickly growing.
All right. So when you started as a club team until now, talk about size of your team. Has it grown? Has it kind of plateaued off? What kind of trends are you seeing there?
So last semester I had 21 players. This semester we had right around 40.
Wow.
And next semester I think we're going to be pushing 50. So
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, so teams wise, we've went from 4 teams to 6 teams to potentially 8 to 9 teams next
Wow.
semester.
Okay, so what games do you guys have teams for?
So we have currently we have Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch 2, Rocket League. Next semester we'll be adding League of Legends to the mix. Also looking at possibly adding Super Smash Ultimate to the mix there.
Nice. So I'm a student on campus. How do I go about joining up? Or if
It,
I'm a high school senior, how do I go about getting involved? I'm looking at colleges. Hastings is a top choice. How do I get on the team?
So all my information is on our athletic website. It's hastingsbroncos.com. You'll find me in the early on in the staff directory. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out that way. I also have my Discord. I know I'm in the NSCSA, so if they ever if a high schooler wanted to reach out to me, there's that way. There's also just applying for the college itself, and we have talent scholarships. So there's a lot of different ways to reach out to me. If you're a student on campus already, just come into my office here in the Gray Center and come talk to me and showing interest. I try and keep it open to everyone that wants to participate.
Okay. So are there teams that you're actively recruiting for right now?
Currently League of Legends and Siege are my two big ones. I'm recruiting for all, but those two are if I could get a couple more players, we might have the potential of a second team in both of those next semester.
Okay. Awesome. One of the questions from chat, is there a Hastings Discord that high schoolers can join?
Normally, when I had that opened up, I've already had a conversation with the student. Hopefully sometime soon. I had that open up to the public.
Okay.
There's just a lot of things I have to go about with that I'm not quite comfortable with yet. So soon.
Understood. So being on campus and somebody just has to come and talk to you, do you have a tryout system that you do? Just have them play with the team and see how things look?
Yep. So I'll do tryouts, or if someone has clips or a montage or anything like that, I'll look at that. But I really try and go after how does team chemistry look. I know a lot of people will look at it and it's like, well, my rank's higher than this person. Why aren't I on this team instead of this team? I don't look at that. Yes, rankings do have a little bit of bearing, but if I have, say, Overwatch, I have a silver player that is playing better than a Masters player with the team, I'm going to go with the silver. Again, like I said, I'm very competitive. I want to have the best lineup out there. And sometimes that's just the case. You might have a lower ranked player playing over a higher one. It just one of those things.
That especially that communication and team chemistry is really, really, really important on those team games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one thing I say before every single game is make sure we're communicating and going into a game confident but not arrogant.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about your practices, what they look like. How often do you guys practice?
So our practices, they're usually only the actual structured team practices are only about 2 to 3 hours long, and we try and do it 3 times a week. And that is, there's one that I will schedule saying, okay, we play on Thursday. I want you guys to come in Friday and we'll watch over all our film, because we stream, or we try to stream every single one of our games. So that's one thing I really try and make sure is we come in, watch film, see, okay, we could have done this better. We did really good on this, etc. And then practices, I let the IGLs lead a lot of it. Obviously, I'm sitting there helping out, but when it comes to like our competitions, I'm not able to say anything. So I want to make sure they're understanding like I can't be there holding their hands through what could be a tough situation during one of our games.
Okay, interesting. So you talked about a structured practice. What's a structured practice look like?
So the structured practices, we're going into ranked games or pub games as a team, competing, working on communicating with each other, understanding what agents or heroes or operators we're using, um, and trying to get the best feel of, okay, maybe this person is this character isn't as meta as it was 2 weeks ago. Going in practicing that, just getting more comfortable with playing with each other, because that I also try and make sure we don't burn ourselves out. So just making sure we have everything working out properly, and so when we get into competition, we're not questioning what decisions we're making.
Mm-hmm. I guess you mentioned something that I didn't realize is that as a coach during your competitions, you're not able to communicate with your team at all, which I think is interesting. Do you know why they do that?
So the only time I'm really ever able to communicate during a game is if we call a timeout
Okay.
or in between games. But I think a lot of that is to make sure um, it's all fair play and we're not just sitting there the entire time saying, do this, do that, do this.
Gotcha.
They want it to be the players making the decisions.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So what do competitions look like for you guys? Obviously, you have some that you do kind of like us that are online weekly competitions, nightly competitions. Do you travel? Talk to us about your competition schedule.
So competition wise, everything is right here in the Gray Center. We play every week. Um, each team has a certain day. So Valorant's on Mondays, Siege on Tuesdays, Overwatch on Thursday, Rocket League on Friday. And we're playing teams from all over the place. I know last semester alone we had games against schools from 19 different states and 2 Canadian provinces. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's anywhere from California to Florida to Massachusetts to British Columbia. So,
That's cool.
yeah, and I've had a lot of fun with that because get to interact with people from different regions that I'd even really think about reaching out to or wouldn't have normally come in contact with. So that's been a really fun experience.
Yeah. Do you travel to like one-off tournaments, like if there's a siege tournament in Omaha, or maybe there's one in Minneapolis? Do you guys travel to things like that, or are you strictly on campus for now?
Currently, we are only on campus. Looking at potentially next year, going to more land tournaments.
Okay.
Going into all this, I did not realize how many land tournaments we get invited to, because there's one in Iowa, there's one in Kansas, or there's two in Iowa that we got invited to, one in Lincoln, one in South Dakota, one in Kansas, one in Colorado. So a lot of land tournament opportunities. And that's something I really want to give our students an opportunity, because earlier in the season, we had Cotty College from Nevada, Missouri come up. And they came up here and we played against them. They had a really fun time as Valorant and Overwatch, and both teams had a really fun time with it. So I want to make sure we had that awesome experience.
Yeah, there's just something about playing in person with other people as opposed to just online with them. Mostly because you just get to meet them.
Yeah.
So as a coach, your team is part of a greater, larger organization, I'm assuming, of esports colleges. Do the coaches ever get together and talk about program things? Do you have monthly meetings, or is it just you talk to them on Discord or something?
It's more just talking on Discord.
Okay.
Just a good example for myself is college over in, I believe it's Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Me and him are constantly talking with each other about just everything with the NECC, association that we're in. So that's been really fun.
Yeah. So talk to us about your space a little bit. Large space, small space, lots of computers, what kind?
So we are in a pretty much a old photo studio that got renovated. We have 22 PCs in there. It's separated into two sections. We have a 5v5 section and a 6v6 area. And that was more of, okay, if we have LAN tournaments, we could have Siege or Siege or Valorant on one side, and then Overwatch 1, we had that 6v6. Obviously, now with Overwatch 2, that's a little different, but
yeah.
And then we have a 23rd PC that is set up in a radio booth that is our broadcast area. Like I said, our Twitch, everything is streamed or as much as we can. Sometimes, like with Rocket League, we have some of our games overlapping, but that's one thing I've really been trying to push is getting our game stream, because there's a lot of teams in our conferences that don't stream it, and it's such a cool opportunity to be able to showcase, okay, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. And for parents of players, like my Rocket League team that just played here at 6 o'clock, they one of my players is from Mississippi. His parents aren't able to come up and watch every game each week. So having that ability for parents to come into stream and chat and root on their kids.
Yeah, that's cool. So talk a little bit about the scholarships that you offer. Is it just for gamers? Are you able to offer scholarships for if somebody's interested in graphic design or streaming? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Hastings, I have scholarships open, a lot of what you said there. Anyone that wants to play, anyone that wants to help out with broadcast or graphic design, we offer scholarships anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 a year. And that's in addition to your academic scholarship. So a good chunk of change could be taken or given to you. And that's one thing. My broadcasts, pretty much every student of mine is on scholarship for that this year and running it.
That's awesome. Okay, so you talked a little bit about Overwatch. What does Overwatch look like now at the college level, now that Overwatch 2 is out? Have you seen a big, obviously, it's changed from 6v6 to 5v5. So did you have to cut a player off of your team? How does that work? They use them as a sub now. How does that work for you guys? Was it a hard switch?
No, because my Overwatch team would sub in quite frequently. We last semester going into this semester, we had about 3 or 4 subs, and just being able to fluidly switch subs in and out has actually been really nice. I think for us, it's been really beneficial just not having to worry about a second tank, because sometimes we had a little bit of struggles with that. And I mean, our record's shown for this year. Last year we went, I believe, 3-6, made it to the quarterfinals of our playoffs. This year we're sitting at 5-2, our last two regular season games tonight, and in a really good position to be the 2 seed going into our tournament this year. So
it seems like it's worked out for the better then.
yeah, I'd say.
Talk to us a little bit about diversity of your team. Is it all just guys that came out from their basements to play games for you?
No, I think it's awesome. It's a co-ed sport, and we have a lot of women on the team. And not only that, we have a really good diversity of LGBT members on our team. So that's something I've really enjoyed with our team. Is it's not just your stereotypical guy playing a video game. It's very diverse. I've really enjoyed that, because when I started the program about a year ago, I didn't know what to expect. So being able to see a lot of women on our team, I think it is right around 30 to 40% of my team is women.
Awesome.
So
yeah, that's just one of those stereotypes that we got to overcome, I think, in the esports world yet. We still got a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. All right. So next week, big event happening Friday and Saturday. We got our state tournament is coming to Hastings. Are you excited for it?
Oh yeah, I've been, when Coach Hinkle and I were talking about my program becoming a sponsor and the potential of us hosting, that was one thing I really, really wanted to be a part of. Not only showcase, hey, Hastings has a program and we're growing very quickly. So just being able to have high schoolers come here and see what we have here, and just being able to be a part of that is going to be so awesome. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and there's going to be well over 35 different schools represented, and I can't even think about the number of students that are going to be there too. It's just going to be crazy. And what's really cool about a lot of our programs is that they're not just high school programs. There's a lot of middle school kids that are part of the programs too. So, I mean, they're just getting a look at what kind of things are available for them. It seems like they're not just coming to school to play games, but hey, I can go to college and play games too. Or if I want to stream, I could do those things. I mean, just to see the opportunities available, this is a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, I'm super excited for anyone that becomes a part of our program. And that's one thing we've really been working on, is making people feel welcomed here. That's one thing I've really been pushing for, is making sure we have enough people for enough teams.
Yeah. We're also going to have some of our sponsors there. They'll have tables set up. Some various colleges that our sponsors are going to be there. We've got some other corporate sponsors that'll be there on hand to talk to students and share about opportunities that they have for them also. So, Coach, thank you so much for talking with us tonight. We look forward to visiting your facility this next week. We'll be streaming all of the action on the Hastings Twitch channel, as well as Nebraska High School Esports Twitch channel. So all that'll be happening. That'll be posted on our Twitter feed as well. And then we have another Twitch Talk Thursday coming in December. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for everybody for joining us tonight. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.